Lesson 3. Composing an original melody with the piano roll. This is where we start to get into the nitty-gritty of editing in a DAW. So we'll be covering what a melody is, what the piano roll is, how you use it, what you'll be doing for assignment 3. I'll do a little demo, and then we'll go over again how to name your project, how to submit the project, and another summary of this assignment. So, melody, like I said, is the catchy, memorable part of a song. If you were to sing a song, you would probably sing the melody. It would be really weird. If it was someone's birthday and you were going to sing happy birthday and you started beatboxing, that's not the melody. People sing the melody most of the time. If it is sung, it usually has lyrics, so that's not always true. And it's usually played by a higher pitched instrument, but that's not always true either. A lot of things in music are not true all of the time. A lot of these sort of terms and words we use to describe things are sort of catch-alls, but aren't super accurate. Oftentimes, depending on the ensemble, voice will sing the melody, a lead guitar, guitar solo sort of thing, trumpets, flutes, violins, piano, that sort of thing will play melody, though anything can play a melody. So, in a DAW, the piano roll is a tool that allows you to make precise changes to rhythm and pitch. It's really, really similar to the Patterns Beatmaker, but you have a lot more control, which also means it's a little more tricky to use. Now, I mentioned MIDI for lesson 1, but MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and all that means is it's a file type that tells digital and MIDI instruments when to play and which notes to play. So, for example, in Soundtrap, when you have those two types of tracks, one that looks like sound waves and then one that looks like sort of dots and dashes, those dots and dashes are little controllers that are telling that instrument when to play, rather than just having an audio file that plays when you play. It's confusing, but that's what you're doing. So, how to use the piano roll. Here's a big slide in the PowerPoint. I'm not going to read through this. I'd rather just sort of show you, and then if you need to, you can reference this PowerPoint as you're making your own project. But as you can see, it's a lot of different steps, and there's a bunch of notes down here too. So go to soundtrap.com, log into your profile. Here's mine. There is assignment 2. It's still mixing. Here's assignment 1. Wow, it's mixing for a long time. I'm going to enter Studio. We need each assignment to be a new project. And here we go. I'm going to click music. Now right away, just for my own sake, because I almost forgot in the last one, I'm going to title this assignment 3. It does not have a name. So the name is gonna be Piano Cinnamon Roll. Why not? By Mr. Weatherly. Here we go. Okay, so I've named it. I'm in good shape. Now, to edit instruments in the piano roll, to write a melody with the piano roll, you're going to do a few different things. You're going to go to Add New Track. You're going to pick an instrument. Now, some of these instruments you can edit with the piano roll and some you can't. Voice and microphone you can't because that's your voice. That would be really crazy if you could do that. Drums and beats you probably could, but it's a little more complicated. I wouldn't do that yet. And then guitar and bass amp, that is just ways to affect a guitar track that you have, or if you're plugging in your guitar into Soundtrap, which I still haven't figured out how to do, but I know you can do it. That's what you use. So do not pick voice and microphones, guitar and bass amp, or drum and beats. You want piano, keyboards, guitar, bass, synthesizer, strings, brass, or woodwinds. I'm gonna go with piano, because it's pretty standard. So when you choose piano or choose any instrument, you will see this big keyboard. It's really sort of difficult to play in time. Like I'll try right now. Why not? Let me add the metronome on here. See, that was a mess. That was really, really difficult. Just clicking. Then if I go back and double click there, I'll bring that back up. So that's complicated. You can also use your keyboard, but that's complicated too, because then I'd have to go that's hard too. I don't usually bother with this stuff. If you've got a MIDI keyboard, which you can plug into the thing, it's really good. I wouldn't bother too much with this. So real quick, sorry about this, just gonna go delete this. Actually, let me delete the whole track and start over. So add new track, piano, keyboard, blah, blah, blah. So when you add your instrument, you will see this. You'll have the keyboard and it'll say instrument in purple up here. We want to go to the piano roll. Piano roll is crazy looking. It's just a huge grid, similar to actually just Soundtrap in general. But this is actually now editing pitch and rhythm. So if you look, you'll have some darker lines, you'll have some lighter lines, and you'll have black or white and gray lines right here. Now, as you go up and down, these are different pitches, and they match with these keys on the side. Notice how you have two white keys next to each other. That's E and F. You have two white lines next to each other. This is also E, this is also F. And then you have a black one here, which correlates to this black key up here, which happens to be F sharp. You can click over. Now, when you go to the piano roll, you may just have your arrow chosen over here. If you just see your arrow, you want to come over here, click this pencil, which is also called draw notes. So I'm going to click that. It's going to turn purple, and my cursor is going to turn to a pencil. Now, if I click anywhere, I'm going to create a note. I'm going to do it randomly. Here we go. Boom. There's a note. Now, this note, if you look up here, correlates with the measure numbers up here, is in measure 1, beat 2. Beat 3. This is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. So if I play it, it's going to go like this. It's not my favorite, and I'm sorry, that's beat 2. So there you go. It's very similar to the Patterns Beatmaker, but now it has to do with pitch. Now this is really, really small, and I want to make something pretty complicated. So I'm going to actually zoom in by sort of putting two fingers on my trackpad and spreading them apart, just like you would do on a picture. So there you go. Notice how that column split into two. Now instead of this being a quarter note, now it's 2/8 notes. If I draw there, now I have an 1/8 note. I can zoom in a lot. Now it's 16th notes. Now it's 32nd. Now it's 64th. You can get really crazy with this stuff. I'm going to limit myself to, what are these right now? It's hard to tell. Let's see. So this is quarter notes, 1/8 notes, 16 notes. There we go. I'm going to limit myself to 16 notes. Notice that I have 1 to 2 up here. That means this is one measure, and these are 16 notes. This bar is a beat. This is like beat 2. Here's beat 3. Here's beat 4. So I'm gonna use just black keys for now. I'm gonna try my best to do that. It's gonna be kind of hard, but let's do that. I'm gonna limit myself to black keys only. These gray bars. Okay, I got an 1/8 note there because it's 2 16th notes long. Got another one. Cool. Now I want this one to be a little bit shorter, so I'm gonna actually go to the ends of it, where my cursor turns into the adjust ends icon. I'm gonna drag it over. Now it's only a 16th note long. Now it's gonna let me draw some 16th notes. Oops, I don't like that one, so I'm gonna move that one a little bit. Wait till I have an arrow. Okay, I'll go a little higher that time. Ooh, I'm gonna add a little gap. Here we go. Okay, what's this gonna sound like? Ooh, I like that, it's pretty. Cool, so I've now made a little one measure melody. You can definitely stop there, or you can make it even longer. I'm gonna make it longer by just clicking outside of the thing. And for right now, I'm just gonna go kind of random, because I'm doing a demo and I want it to go a little faster. So now I have a 2 measure melody. It's gonna have repeated sometimes. I don't know what this is gonna sound like. Probably not great, but that's okay. Let's go lower now. Been really there for a while. Now I'm gonna make my melody about 4 measures long, just because that's a pretty standard thing. Multiples of 4. And I click, and I want this one to be a little longer. There we go. Here, let's hear what this sounds like. It's not that bad, actually. actually. All right, I'm gonna make this slower, and I'm not gonna do 100. I did 100 last time, so let's do 100. 1. Haha, different. Let's hear what that sounds like now. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's see what that sounds like. Better. Okay, notice how I moved it around, kind of like instrument tracks. You can just click and drag them or make them longer, shorter, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Alright, so just like the Patterns Beatmaker, I'm going to click out of here and it's already there. Let me zoom out a little bit so it's not so crazy looking. Let's hear it again. I don't like it that much, but whatever. I actually kind of want it to be a different instrument. So I'm going to click this little piano icon over here. I'm going to go here. I want it to be like a big screamy guitar solo. Let's try this. Guitar. Where's like guitar chords? I don't want that. Maybe just rock. Is that going to do it? Oh, mountaintop lead. This is probably going to be what I want. Alright, so hopefully this sounds a little less cheesy. It's not bad. Still cheesy. Anyway, the last thing I want to show you is that you can actually highlight and move multiple things at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and they're all going to highlight. Now I want it to be up an octave, so I'm going to be real careful. I'm going to highlight everything. Let's hear that. Anyway, that sounds pretty cool. Now you can also edit that in a few different ways. I'll do that later. I'm going to save my work because you got to save your work all the time. Going back to the slideshow, we've now made our first melody. That's great. And here's what you're going to do with it. So assignment 3, composing an original melody with the piano roll. You'll compose an original melody, use the piano roll, and that melody will be accompanied by a harmonic loop, a bass loop, and a percussion loop. Now the percussion loop should be original. The bass loop, harmonic loop can be, but they don't have to be. You'll title your assignment the exact same way you have been, except now it's assignment 3, and you'll submit it to me just like you've been submitting everything else. So in the PowerPoint, there is a demo project that's different than the one I'm doing right now. That one is, I think it's pretty cool. I'm not going to play it right now. Let you do that when you have the actual slideshow. But let's go back to my project and we'll fill it out a little. So over here, I'm going to call this original melody, just so that when I send it to my teacher, he'll know that that is the thing I've written. Now, I want it to be like a jam band sort of guitar solo. It's going to be real short. So I'm going to get a little fancier with it. So what I want to do is I don't want this to start right away. I'm going to move this a little bit. Let's make a beat real quick. I'm going to change my kit to something more natural. Let's go 60. I like it. This one's a little too clean. Maybe that'll work better. Alright, so I want a really simple rock beat. Let's make my standard beat that I made for the last thing. Turn the cycle on, shorten it up to 1 measure. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let me turn up a little bit of reverb. Now, reverb is not the same as echo, but it's sort of like, it's kind of like echo. When you're in a big room or a cave or something and you yell into it and you yell hello and it goes hello and it sounds like you're in a big space, that's what reverb is. So actually, here's just the kit with no reverb. Simple beat. I'm going to turn the cycle off. I'm going to loop it all the way through this guitar solo. So I've got my original percussion part. Original percussion loop. Good. I'm going to title it that so my teacher gives me full credit. I'm going to go over here. Let's add some bass guitar. Something. Maybe not bass guitar. Ooh, that might work. All right. Bass. Let's hear that. Particular issue that I did not foresee, especially when I was planning this demo, but my original melody and my bass part are not in the same key. So real quick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that part. You will probably not have to do this. You might want to make your other loops before you make your melody. I maybe have done it a little backwards, but I'm just going to figure out what... Oh well. Yeah, I probably did. It's okay. Anyway. To me, it sounds like I'm in this key right here. If I just sort of click around, I should be able to hear which one sounds most like the key. I think whatever this is going to be is the key. So that's the key if I click it's G flat. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to change my key to G flat major, I think. And I did that by clicking down here, G flat, it's G major, that's a little different. Well, they don't have G flat major, but they have F sharp major, that's the same thing. So if I do that and now I add black rust, though I kind of forgot which one that was. No. Alright, now I add this thing. Should be better. Let me bring it back to the front. Okay, let's hear if this sounds good. Skip ahead. Alright to that. That sounds good enough for me. Actually made my guitar solo a little higher. Alright, this is okay so far. Let's get some harmony in there. I want organ. We're going... the jam band Fish, I think. Though this doesn't really sound anything like that. Let's find an organ. Definitely not. No. That'll work though. Okay, let's hear this. Alright, real quick, I'm going to do a little edit of my piano. I know what the issue is, so I'm going to fix it real quick. You shouldn't have to do that. That's just me kind of messing up. Here we go. Not my favorite project, not as much as I like the other ones. You should check out the demo in the PowerPoint. That one's pretty cool. But there you go. I've got my completed project there. I've got an original melody part. I've got my original percussion part. I've got a bass loop and I've got a harmony loop. You don't have to like what you make. That's fine. I don't really like what I just made. I like parts of it. Don't like most of it. But anyway, now that I'm done, I'm gonna hit save. Then I'm going to click collaborate. I'm going to hit invite. I'm going to write my teacher's name, President Weatherly. Did I misspell my name? No, I did it right. Remember, this dude is not me. Don't pick him. I can't see me because it's my my thing, and then I am done. That's a finished project. Okay, now for assignment 3, you have to name your project just like you've named every other project. It's got to be assignment number 3, or just assignment 3 rather, dash the title that you've given it. The demo that I did for the PowerPoint is called Spicy Clarinet Sunday by Christopher Weatherly. It's going to be assignment 3 dash name of your song by your first name and your last name. Remember, your title can be anything you want, hence why I called it Spicy Clarinet Sunday, but everything else has to be the way it is. Remember, for submitting assignments, you hit the collaborate button, hit invite, type my name, look for this one, Chris Weatherly 1, that's me, this dude's not me, and then you hit invite and I will have your project to grade. The summary of the assignment 3. You will compose an original melody using the piano roll. Your melody will be accompanied by an original percussion loop, a harmonic loop, and a bass loop. Just percussion and melody have to be original, harmony and bass do not. You must title your project like this: assignment number 3 dash whatever you call it by your first and your last name. You'll submit it by adding me as a collaborator. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, email me or hit me up in the Microsoft Teams. Good luck.